Hey guys, it's Al with techmadeezy, and thank you so much for clicking on our video. Well, if you want to know the difference between the River 2 and the River 3, well, you are in the right place. This is actually going to be a pretty short video, but we're going to be taking a close look. We're going to go over what's included so you can see that as well. We're going to go over ports, outlets, solar charging, battery type, cycles, chemistry, warranties, you name it. Again, not a long video, but why don't we go ahead and check this out? Hi, this is Al from Tech Made Easy with a really quick message. The video you're about to watch is sponsored. We received this product from the vendor. But keep in mind, we will be very honest with you as we review the product. That is very important to us. If you like our video, I sure hope you give us a thumbs up. I hope you share our video. And last, I really hope you subscribe and become a part of the family. Thank you. All right, I'm going to bring up a slide to show you what we're going to be covering. And you can hit pause to look at this, all right? But as you can see, we're going to cover a lot. So why don't we go ahead and get started? Let's take a look at what's included. So as you can see on the River 2, you have a car charger, a booklet, and an AC cord. And on the River 3, again, car charger, booklet, AC cord. All looks the same, right? But it's interesting. When they first launched the River 2, they actually gave you an XT60i cable. You see that little pin there? But what's funny is the River 2 doesn't support the extra pin. So they were giving you a better cable, really for no reason at all. I think towards the end or the middle, they started giving you a regular cable. The other thing, you actually get a 14 AWG AC cord. So this is a thicker cord. This cord is 18 AWG. You could see the difference, right? I mean, you know, I wish I would just show you one. Let me see if I could slide out. Look at that. You see the difference? Right? So 18 AWG, 14 AWG. So they're saving some money. Do they need to give you a 14? No. So you're getting a cable that's a little thinner. It does the job. All honesty, it does the job. And as you can see here, you're getting an XT60 cable, right? You're not getting an XT60i cable because, again, these are small power stations. They don't support that extra pin. So, again, this was one of the first, River 2s that came out because obviously we did the review. But there are some differences. Let's go into some specs and some features. All right, so here they are, the River 2 and the River 3. And as you can see, the River 3 definitely got smaller. Now, I'm going to cover dimensions. I'm also going to cover weight, and you'll be surprised by the weight, But let's talk cost for a minute. So the River 2 is MSRP $299. But believe it or not, this is actually selling at the same price as this right now. So the normal price for this, unless something changes, the normal price will be $169. That's really aggressive, by the way. As you can see, we went with a darker color, so I like that. This has lighter on top, all right? But besides the cost, let's go ahead and let me take the camera off, and I'll start doing some close-ups for you so we could see what has changed. All right, let's take this close look. I'm going to start off with the displays. Now, to me, the displays look the same size. I know the camera can fool you and make that look a little bigger. This actually looks sharper, by the way. All right, so to me, in my eye, this looks sharper than this display. All right, so, but the size looks the same. There's no measurements on that. Another thing I saw that changed is the car charge outlet doesn't have a cover here, and this does. I like that. I also like the color change. So they had this, gray on top, silver on top. This is kind of like a black chrome. And I just say that because it's darker on the top, a little lighter, but I like the coloring on this compared to this. All right, but continuing on with just a quick look. So again, an outlet cover, because otherwise you've got your power button for your DC here, which is going to control your car charger and your USB, and your power button here, which is going to cover, your car charger and your USB. All right. This is your power button for your unit. As you can see, it's going to pulsate to show you it's on. So when your display turns off, you'll see this flashing, pulsating. This will do the same thing. All right. Again, they made the power button dark. I like that. You do get a 3-prong and a 2-prong AC outlet with your power button here. And you've got the same thing here. Now, when we look at the tops, this is probably to access the unit to service it, I would think. A little larger, area to put stuff. Whereas here, what's funny is you could still use it, because it's flat. So you could still use it. I like that. So, and again, I like the color. Now, if we turn this unit to the side, you've got some writing on the side. And one thing you'll see that they did here, which is nice, is they actually updated the ventilation. All right, so besides putting some outlets right here on the side, easier to access, by the way, you'll see in a minute. All right, and I'm just trying to look at light here. There it goes. So you've got, your AC plug just goes right in there. You don't have no power brick. And then here's for your solar and your car charging. And I like the way this drops all the way down and out of the way. Clicks into place. So that's nice. Go to the back of the River 2 and you'll see that kind of an awkward spot. You've got your plug and you've got your fan and then you've got your, XC60. Now, the thing here is this fan must pull air out because it has nowhere else to put the air. So, and then you've got your serial number and your, some specs and stuff in the back here. Now, when we go here, you're going to see that this is a plain back, first of all. And one thing they updated, by the way, is the design of the handle. When I grab this handle, it just makes sense. When I grab this handle, it's awkward. Like this is sharper here. So, it doesn't make as much sense. So it's a little more awkward compared to grabbing it this way. So they did update the handle as well. And again, you'll see here on this side, there's nothing. On this side, you've got, again, your fan, right? So your fan is now blowing air through the unit coming out on the side here. So I like that. Now, the bottom of this unit, you've got your feet. Obviously, if you're going to put this on a table or something, you don't want it to scratch. So it's not bad. They do the job. And on this one, you have the information. So it's got like your specs, but it's got these 4 feet that you can, put on the ground and not worry, and your specs and your information, your serial number. All right. So, yeah, there you go with our quick, close look. So before I go into detailed specs, let me just tell you what these are made for. They're not made to power refrigerators, although they probably could if you have a really, really new, efficient refrigerator, maybe for like an hour, maybe 2, okay? But if you have an old refrigerator, forget about it. Look, these are made to bring with you, and that's why this got smaller. It's made to bring with you to power your phones, your computers, your laptops, your lights like an LED light, charge your drone batteries, a fan. That's what these are made for. They have small batteries. They're just made to bring with you. Of course, you can recharge these via solar and stuff like that. You'd have to buy the solar cable. It's sold separately. But that's it. I mean, they're really nice, cool, small units. They're not going to power a coffee maker. They're not going to power a microwave. They're not going to power hand tools, so just be aware. All right, but let's go ahead and get into some specs now. Let's talk about power. I'll start off with the River 2. So the River 2 can handle 300 watts with a 600 watt surge. A surge, that's really a couple of seconds, just so you'll know. So it's not going to run anything over 300 watts. But if you turn on X Boost, it'll support devices that require, up to 600 watts. But let me just tell you, don't use X Boost until you learn more. What is X Boost? Well, it lowers the voltage on certain devices, allowing you to run higher powered devices. Again, read your manual, leave it off for now, because if you're running it on the wrong device, it could cause damage. All right. But again, 300 watts with a 600 watt surge. And what about the River 3? Well, guess what? Same thing. 300 watts with a 600 watt surge and 600 watts X boost. Again, don't forget, read up on X boost before you use it. Now, are these pure sine wave outlets, inverters, excuse me? Yes, they are. They're both pure sine wave. So that means they're going to give you really clean power. All right. That means if I plugged a fan into this, I wouldn't hear a humming noise. If I plugged a TV or a projector in it, I wouldn't see distortion. Really clean power. Now, can I use these as a UPS? EcoFlow goes back and forth with using the word EPS, emergency power supply, or UPS, uninterrupted power supply. In reality, a true unlimited power supply is usually like 5 seconds or faster. So the River 2 is 30 milliseconds. All right. And what that means is let's say I had my computer plugged into this and I had this plugged into the wall and the power went out. It would then switch from the wall to this within 30 seconds. Now, the UPS has improved on the River 3. It is now 20 milliseconds. That is pretty cool. Let's talk about battery types. These both have LFP batteries in them, lithium iron phosphate. And the River 2 is 256 watt hours. That means the size of the battery, by the way. And it's not big. It's not made to be big. 256 watt hours. And the River 3 got a little smaller. It's 245 watt hours. No big difference there. Now, what about cycles? So these batteries, just like your iPhone and your Samsung and your iPad and your laptop, all batteries have a limited amount of cycles, meaning I charge it to 100% and then it goes down to 0. I just used one cycle. So the River 2 has 3,000 cycles, and after you complete 3,000 cycles, you then have 80% left. That is amazing. These batteries both should last you about 10 years if you maintain them. So read the manual on what maintenance is like. I won't talk about that in this video. Now, the life cycles on the River 3, 3,000 cycles, and then you have 80% capacity. I just think that's phenomenal. Let's talk about connectivity. So there is an EcoFlow smart app, and I'll be honest, it is phenomenal. They have added so many things. Do you have to use an app? No. But if they find out there's an issue with one of these units, they will send a firmware update. You'll need to use the app to do the firmware update. But the smart app, basically the River 2 has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, and the River 3 has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. And when you use the EcoFlow Smart app, you can basically use it locally via Bluetooth and turn outlets on and turn outlets off. You can also actually remotely control and monitor if you're connected to the internet. So if you connect these to Wi-Fi, you can be in another country, turn off an outlet, turn on an outlet, see what your battery status is, and things like that. Now we're going to talk about the ports and the outlets. I kind of divide it between output and input. Output meaning the power these will put out. Input meaning how can I charge these, all right? So the River 2 has 6 ways to power devices. A car charger, 3 USB, and 2 AC. The River 3 has 6 ways as well. Again, a car charger, USB, 3 of them, and 2 AC outlets. So let's talk about the AC outlets. So the AC outlets, as you know, these are 300 watts, and these are 300 watts. They have a surge of 600 watts. And again, X Boost is rated at 600 watts. But again, please make sure you read more about the X Boost. Now, as far as USB outlets, let's start off with USB Type A. So on the River 2, you have two 12-watt. All right, these are two 12-watt USB Type A's. And on the River 3, same thing, two 12-watt USB Type A's. Now, the River 2 has a 60-watt USB Type C. But what makes this pretty cool is not only is it an output, but it's an input, meaning I can actually charge this using USB Type C. I can't do that on the River 3, so that feature is no longer available. So this is only an output of 100 watts. Yeah, this is 60-watt USB Type C, and this is 100-watt USB Type C. And again, I love that, 100 watts, but I can't use this as an in or an out. So I can't charge this using USB Type C. So they did remove that feature. All right. Again, car charging, that did change a little bit too. So this was a max of 100 watts on the output side because it's 12.6 volts, 8 amp. This one's improved. So it's up to 126 watts, 12.6 volt, 10 amp. So that's pretty good. All right, let's go ahead and cover input. By the way, if you want to see a full comparison of the previous River 2 series, as you can see, there's an image on the screen right now. I will put a link in the upper right-hand corner, and I'll call it comparison. If you want to check this out and just see all three of the River 2s, and just see what makes them different, well, go ahead. I'm gonna put a link called comparison in the upper right-hand corner right now. Go ahead and click on that, and you'll be able to watch the video. I'll also put a link in the video description. So I'm going to start with solar. The River 2 can handle 110 watts, 11 to 30 volt, 8 amp. The River 3, the same. 110 watt max, 11 to 30 volt, 8 amp. Now, AC charging, right? Taking the cable, plugging it into the wall to charge this. The River 2 can handle more wattage. It can handle 360 watts. So they say this will charge to 100% in 60 minutes, 1 hour. Now, the River 3, a little bit smaller battery, right? Just a little bit smaller battery. Again, this is 320 watts max, so a little less on the AC input. But again, they're saying 100% in 60 minutes. Now let's talk about car charging. So they're both the same. This can handle about, and they come with the car charger, by the way. They don't come with the solar cables, but they do come with the car charger. So this can handle about 100 watts. And this can handle 100 watts. So you're really talking almost 3 hours, depending, to charge these things with a car charger. All right. Now, let's talk about IP rating. So the River 2 doesn't have an IP rating at all, but this is kind of new for the River 3. So the battery pack in the River 3 is IP54. And they're saying this shell is fire retardant. So they made a fire retardant shell. All right. Now, what is IP54? That simply means it's dust protected. It's limited within a couple of hours, and it's protected against sprays of water. You're not submerging this. You really don't want to use it outside. I just think they try to give you that protection, which is good. Dimensions. I'm going to put dimensions up on the screen, all right, for the River 2, as you can see there. And now I'm going to put dimensions for the River 3. So as you can see, the River 3 is smaller in a few ways. Now, let's talk about weight. So this is interesting. You would think that the River 3 would be lighter, but it's not. It's a drop heavier. So the weight on the River 2 is 7.7 pounds, 3.49 kilogram. The weight on the River 3 is 7.8 pounds, 3.53 kilogram. Again, a drop heavier. All right. Smaller, but a drop heavier. What about the warranty? These both have a 5-year warranty. That's really good. I mean, it used to be a 2-year warranty, but now with the better battery, lithium iron phosphate, you get that 5-year. And again, I just want to underline something. Don't forget, this USB port can charge. So it's an in and out. I wanted to just say that because, this isn't, and I know I'm coming out of nowhere with that, but I did kind of list some other things. Now, again, as you saw in the beginning of the video, we showed you what was included. All right, guys. So I hope the information helped you. Close look, detailed specs. The new unit's a nice unit. It's a little smaller, right? There are some differences, definitely. But I hope this information helped you. And if it did, take a moment and give us a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, share our video. And if you do, let me know, man. Post a note and say, Al, I just shared your video with my sister or my brother. I'd appreciate that. I'm going to have our social media right up top, so you can actually look us up on social media and follow us. Check out our new Tesla channel. It's really new. It's going to take a while for us to continue to put up some content, but look us up on YouTube at My Tesla Journey. And by the way, I'm going to put a video here right on the right side. You can click on it and check it out. And if you want to subscribe to our channel here at techmadeezy, go ahead and click the round techmadeezy logo right there, and you'll be able to subscribe and join the family. And guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.